Welcome to this week's edition of Pastor's Ponderings. We're going to take a few moments to look at a piece of artwork that became part of our congregation's home back in the summer of 2018 when Paul Means, one of the artists that was involved in the renovation, created a very special banner for us that continues to beautify our congregation's worship space. Here in the rear of the nave, the rear apse, you see the arch here. This is a piece of wallpaper border that was hand-designed and hand-painted from beginning to end that goes all the way up and around and down the other side. On this emblem, you see Paul used some artistic rendering of a cross here to stabilize this piece of artwork. We as Christians are rooted in the cross. And then there's four emblems that just continually then repeat themselves as we go across that entire border. The first is a shell, which for Christians has long been an emblem of baptism. This is one of the sacrament of initiation, or holy baptism, we call it. Some traditions, actually, some churches have a pattern of a shell near the baptismal font by which the pastor or the minister performing or leading the baptismal rite uses that to take water from the font over the baptized person's head as a sign of cleansing and rebirth. So we see one of the church's sacraments well represented in this border that we pass through every time we come to church. Also is another emblem that is painted again periodically around this piece of art. It is a chalice with the host over it, reminiscent, of course, of a symbol that you see every time you're at worship when Pastor David or myself are celebrating the Eucharist and we elevate the chalice with the host above it. That is a symbol, again, of the other great sacrament of the church, the Lord's Supper, or the sacrament of the altar, as we call it. Again, in this manner, reminding us that we in the church find these things central and sacred, founded upon the cross towards our faith and our nurture. Of course, this symbol is no secret to any of us or mystery to us. This is an emblem of the Holy Trinity. We see that throughout the worship space of Trinity in a number of different forms. But that's a trifoil. Some folks say it's reminiscent of a three-leaf clover, which takes us back to the 5th century where St. Patrick was introducing the faith from Britain into Ireland and used a three-leaf clover as an emblem of the Trinitarian, how three coexist as one in that little plant. But there's the symbol again for us to see. Some call it a trifoil. It goes by a variety of names. And next up is the third great sacrament of the church, the office of the keys, or the sacrament of confession and absolution. We as Christians remember that Jesus gave authority over sin to Peter and to the apostles to loose and to bind sin, that we might be united through the waters of baptism in the Eucharist to the cross of Christ and hear his word of forgiveness, assuring us that what is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven and bound on earth is bound in heaven. So to this day, we continue to offer that good news, that hope of forgiveness to all of us who find ourselves baptized and communing and living our life together in Christ. That's the banner we come through each time we gather in this nave. Let's pause sometime, take a look at that, and see the beauty and the wonder of the art that Paul created as it speaks to the faith we continue to share.